Good morning. How are you? Morning ramble from the office. I came into Canada Square today. The 34th floor was a bit too busy, so it's getting busier, and a lot of the desks were certainly all booked out, so things are getting busier. I went to Bupa yesterday and in Chelsea, and I'd been there last year, same place, so it's quite good to see a comparison between last year and this year. This year she told me I was fat and ugly. I mean, maybe that was my wife. No, but yeah, I put on too much weight compared to last year, as probably most people have. But it's at levels that I don't like, and I need to reverse that, especially sugars, because it's getting up to that pre-diabetes level, so you don't want to be there. And also I've been sitting down too much, and hasn't everybody? And my hamstrings need a bit more movement, so a bit more walking. But I've also checked in today to one of those standing desks, so I'll be doing a lot more of that, and stretching after a walk. My wife always stretches, but I never. I just thought putting that thing, that'll be enough. But it looks like stretching is important, especially if you're sitting down, like you and I, who are in computer careers. So after that, I went into Piccadilly because there was a BAFTA AGM. Now, I've been a member of BAFTA for about, in fact, this is my 20th year, so it was quite a good day to go in when the AGM, and also two key people were leaving. I'll tell you a bit about that. But first went to to Eros, that little fountain area in the centre of Piccadilly, and I thought, I'll just sit here like everybody else does. And the first time I've done it, and it's so relaxing, and the world revolves around you while you're in this quiet space. So yeah, I recommend doing that. It does relax you. And also went to one of my favourite shops called Asoline, which is right next to BAFTA on Piccadilly. And that's got massive big books on Formula One and yachts, and just they're about 600 quid, so not something you can really sort of go, I think I'll maybe buy that for someone's birthday or something like that. But apart from that, they're not something you just go in and think, I think I'll have one of those. But yeah, really high quality images, etc. And I mean, I'm a fan of yachts, so I had a good look at that one, and I knew most of them that were in there. Some of the images, like John F. Kennedy was in it, and so a bit of history as well. The power of networks is something which reminded me when I was going to BAFTA. BAFTA is effectively a network. I mean, basically there's creative talent that are always there, and as you'll see from, I do a little tour around BAFTA to show you what it looks like inside. I've always known the power of networks because, and I think it was late 90s, I set up I worked with one called Shooting People, which was a film industry one, and that's still going very well. And I thought, that's a good idea. I think I'll create one for theatre. And I called it UK Theatre Network, and that was in 2001, when I was in Jersey. And that's got about 30,000, I think it's close to 30,000 members now in the Facebook group that I've got, and then I've got the app, which I've got more in there as well, where we do most of our reviews, and there's people around the country doing reviews of theatre in Glasgow, etc., and down here in London, Manchester, Aylesbury, Bath, you name it. It's all over the country, and that was grown. Myself and I looked for people who were interested and passionate about theatre, and they wanted to write blogs, and we built it up from there. And we review it to Ambassadors Theatre Group. Just as they were growing, I started working with them. And the Andrew Lloyd Webber's company as well. We're going to be doing more reviews with them. So the power of networks is really important. I've always knew that, because I was gathered up at a recruitment company way back in the 80s, and I always knew that you had to keep in your diary the old file of faxes that we used to have. This one's and we used to gather names and email addresses along the way of people who you'd work with, to make sure that if you had a job, then you would phone that person. So I'd find people work, and then I basically set up a recruitment company to do that professionally, and it ran quite a long time in 2 different countries, and it was quite good fun. But I felt that I stopped focusing on it, and I just kept doing what I was doing, which was consulting and contracting to various people or banks around the country. Networks. But I wouldn't have got there without key people. Networks people I'd phone up and say, "You got any opportunities there?" And they just happened to have that at the right time. So obviously I knew the power of networks from way back, and this is before Facebook and social networking. So I picked up the UK Theatre Network, and I thought, well, let's do that for theatre and the arts, because there wasn't enough focusing on that. The late 1990s and early noughties. So I wanted more, make sure it was some of my passion. I was starting to get interested in it. And I also done one for film called UK Film Network. So as a result, I get noticed by BAFTA, and 2 people recommended me, and they wanted me to do more. So I did help them. The 2 people that are leaving, Kevin Price and Amanda Berry, I helped them and they helped me at various times. I gave them précis of where I thought their social networking and social media should go, and I interviewed Amanda, who's the CEO, for my documentary, and she was very helpful to get me a place on the BAFTA red carpet, etc. So networks are important. They help each other get something out of the world, and I'm forever grateful when someone helps me. So I always look out to help other people as well. So I've got so BAFTA is one of the biggest networks, obviously, and after I went to the AGM, I felt that, and I do this every year. I think, right, okay, what am I going to do for BAFTA this year? So I'm going to come up with some ideas, maybe create a film, an independent film, help them, connect with people, because what we do, it is just about pulling people together, saying, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Yeah, you do. All right, can you do this? Right, let's get going and let's create the project or the film or whatever it is you want to do. I want to promote something. So UK Film Network is now about 35,000 members. So again, I've helped them over many years, and they've helped me get into maybe some acting roles or whatever. Now the reason I'm saying all this is that I've also got UK Cyber Network, which I've just set up. It was something I'd wanted to do for a while, and I did do it when there was an NHS issue with cybersecurity, and a lot of people say, well done, that was good, because it just helped with communication, if nothing else. So I set up, basically I created UKCyberNetwork.com, and then redirected it to this new platform, which is Mighty Networks, which is a great platform, and it's very solid. And you basically redirect. You buy the domain name, redirect it over, and if it grows, you can actually pay some money. It's free initially. You can keep it free, but then if you want other things like polls or events or groups that you want to isolate people, if you start to grow, then you can actually compartmentalize it and become similar to other LinkedIn or Facebook or other networks. But you can do a whole lot more if you're actually got people that are like-minded. I'm always helping people find jobs. If we've got job opportunities, we could share them on that. I've got a PDF library already that'll be gathering. I think it's about 20 documents, and one of the guys said to me he found it useful when he's studying for his particular exams. And I'm like, okay, I've helped somebody. Even if I help one person, that I've done the job. I can stop from there. It doesn't have to be massively successful. I'm always in a fail fast mode. If it, I'll take the domain out for a year, and if it doesn't work, then I've only lost, the price of a domain. So please come and join UK Cyber Network, and we'll take it from there. And obviously, I'm looking at, how the power of networks and sharing more on that. And I've actually, even this morning, just took out the domain name, thepowerofnetworks.com. So it's just, I've always come up with an idea, and I think, right, okay, there's a domain name for that, isn't there? Yeah, okay, fine. Now, what will I do? And I'd create a holding page very soon, and then basically point to my various networks, and then probably start to share, my experience of networks over the various years, what works and what doesn't work. And then along came social media, what works and what doesn't work there. I've had lots of good experience, both with, I've done some of the work with Lloyd's as well, and, they're both their public websites and their social media, putting in processes for governance and making sure that, we got things right, the tone of voice and etc. was all part and parcel of that. So hopefully I can help you on that, and join UK Cyber Network, and I hope you enjoyed the journey through BAFTA and the headquarters. Very secret place. You can't. It's only those, and such as those. But yeah, that's me 20 years now, and I'm really pleased to be a member of BAFTA, and I want to continue. It's a privilege, and I get to vote. I get lots of films. I get lots of screenings, etc. And and get the connections. And now, but they said last night at the AGM that they're now going to be implementing some of the ideas that I gave them quite some time ago. It takes them a long time, but things like integrating their website with other people so that you can chat and blog and connect with other people in a more easier way. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Alrighty, have a good day.
Hollywood. Making it. Did I feel like I knew how to make it in Hollywood? Well, I already had.
Right on
Here
the red
we are.
carpet.
Can you believe it?
Welcome to Cannes 2007.
We're in Shoreditch Town Hall.
It's a passionate place for filmmakers. It's BAFTA time, and we're here on the red carpet waiting for the action to start taking place. This is the 80th Oscars, and I've been all the way back. I also made it home. I'm looking forward to going back to sunny London. And that's just what I did. I kept myself busy.
Right, now, let's do some of the stories moving up the internet as a whole. Douglas McFarlane is with me tonight from uktheatre.net. Douglas, good to see you as always.
Hiya.
Douglas McFarlane is my guest tonight from uktheatre.net. Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses have been in the recording studio since 1994, would you?
Sure.
And landing on President-elect Barack Obama's desk when he first starts is this one, which is... It may not be Hollywood, but I don't think it's too far away, do you? There's just one more thing left to say about making it in Hollywood, but I need to go back there to say it. Well, you've heard my trials and tribulations and all the stories of independent filmmakers and composers and actors and writers trying to make it to the top of Hollywood. There is one other way that you can make it to the top of Hollywood, and that's quite a simple way. You get a $25 taxi and you come to this very spot.